Good morning and welcome to the Native News Today program. We thank you for joining us this morning. Gerald Wofford joined alongside Jason Salzman. And as always, we feel we got a very enlightening, very entertaining, and very interesting program for our audience out there.
Yes, sir. We always think that, and I hope our audience does too, but I really do today. We got some great guests on. We got Larry Sellers. He's an actor, lived a lot of his life out there in Los Angeles, and seen the way things are run out there, and brought a little bit of his native personality out there too, so that's always good, and we can get that exposure out there too. So it's going to be great to have him on the show, and we're also going to have some historic footage. Last week I was at the Council Oak of the Creek Nation, and there was a press conference there commemorating the act of 1906 involved with Oklahoma statehood and Native American integration with that. So great things on the show today, and we also have some more, don't we?
Well, we have Mr. Keeper Johnson, who is the son of one of our National Council members here, the National Council, Keeper Johnson. So I guess he's Keeper Johnson Jr.
He's Keeper Johnson II.
And the department that he is with?
He's the Oklahoma Office of Juvenile Affairs, and it's the OJA office there in Tulsa. And they do a great job with Native American youth. I know everybody watching, knows that our youth are very important to the preservation of this culture and this nation, and all nations of Native Americans. And the fact that they're working to keep them on the right path is very admirable.
So there it is, kind of in a Indian taco shell recipe there for you. The layout of today's Native News Today program. Got a lot of interesting stuff to share with you. So stick around here. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more of the show of Native News Today.
The Native American Times provides news coverage that is specifically tailored to the Native American perspective. We emphasize an understanding of special issues such as sovereign rights, civil rights, and government-to-government relations. Our staff of reporters and columnists provide a daily digest of news that is often utilized for national outlets such as CNN, NBC News, ABC News, the Los Angeles Times, and many others, because the whole world is Indian country. At the Palace Grocery, located on 201 North Main in Fairfax, we have custom-cut meats at great prices for dinners, powwows, or any special event. Our ground beef is only $1 all day, every day. You know our food is top of the line because we are established and owned by the OSAGE tribe, and we believe in taking care of our Indian people. Our superb checkers will ensure you leave with a smile. So come by and check us out, or call us up. And remember, we deliver.
All right, welcome back to the program. Thanks for staying with us through that break. Like I said earlier in the opening, we got a great program, and let's get it kicked off right now. We recently had a chance to sit down with a very special man, very nice lineage in the Mvskoke Creek Nation government and things of that nature. Gerald, tell us a little bit about Mr. Keeper Johnson.
Well, this past week, the three of us, the producer Josh Slane, we all went to Tulsa, Oklahoma there and visited with Mr. Keeper Johnson Jr. I guess it's okay to say that because respect to his father, Keeper Johnson, National Council member. Keeper Johnson Jr. is with the Oklahoma Juvenile Affairs Program. Sat down and talked with us, telling us about the services they offer, specifically toward the Native American youth.
What really drove you to become somebody that stands in the gap for the youth?
Well, initially, my father used to work with delinquent youth way back when I was a teenager, and then he went on into voc rehab. My mother worked with the school system as an educator, and I think from there, I just felt like social services was a need that definitely was a route for me to take. Growing up, seeing a lot of our Native American youth getting in trouble with law enforcement, I felt that maybe perhaps I might be able to do something in the future to deter some of that.
What's an ordinary week like for you? Some of the intricacies of this program and what you guys really do?
Well, what we do here in Tulsa and, in other parts of the state with the Office of Juvenile Affairs, we work with delinquent youth. Those youth have come under the attention of law enforcement. Generally, law enforcement referral will go ahead and come across our desk. We take a look at that, and then we kind of see what type of services that we need to go ahead and provide to that youth, depending upon the type of referral that law enforcement has brought to our attention.
Is that something you see now that's more taken care of now, or is that a continuing problem that you're working to remedy?
Well, I think we do a good job in working with our Native American youth across the state, but I think we can do a better job in what we're doing today. Part of the program that was developed today was to go ahead and work in conjunction with the Native tribal agencies across the state and to better serve this delinquent population.
Okay, your agency back in 2001 started something pretty groundbreaking. Tell us a little bit about the task force.
Well, in October of 2001, the Office of Juvenile Affairs established a task force. It's the CEI Native American Task Force. And what that task force was designed to do was to go ahead and try to better provide services to our Native American population across the state on an organized level. Initially, what we were finding was that there were JSU workers in separate counties that were working with tribal agencies. They alone were establishing that rapport and that working relationship. In October, it was decided that on a statewide level, on an organized effort, that we would work with tribal agencies on a more intimate level statewide. So we developed a task force, we developed a website. For instance, say if you were living in Mvskoke and you had a child that ended up getting into trouble, ended up going through some court proceedings where the Office of Juvenile Affairs was involved, you could go onto our website, take a look and see what task force members available to you in that area. You could call them, access whatever information they have, and they would assist you in trying to explain to you what your child's going through. And then they would try to work with whatever tribal agency that's in that area to go ahead and better serve that client to avoid possibly placing that child outside the home. The website that I'm discussing is oja.state.ok.us. And that website, it has all the task force members listed on that website, and it's kind of divided up the way our tribal jurisdictions in Oklahoma is divided up. We have different catchment areas across the state. But that was developed out of October 2001. At that time, we found 32,686 youth that had referrals, delinquent referrals in the state of Oklahoma. Out of that 32,000, 4,424 were Native American youth, roughly 13.5% of the population. So we feel that if we can go ahead and better work with individual tribes on a more organized effort, that we can go ahead and partner up with the tribes and better serve that client with tribal services and state services.
Mr. Keeper Johnson Jr. with the Oklahoma Juvenile Affairs Program. Certainly nice to see someone like that giving the program and services and helping out Native American youth.
Well, it's very refreshing. The youth are very important to the preservation of any Native American culture, and they are the future, and certainly the elders know that. And I think that's something that's really drove Mr. Johnson to get involved in the work that he's doing, and we certainly commend him, and it was great to have him on the program.
And as you see, the information to contact Mr. Keeper Johnson Jr. is right below the screen here as Mr. Salzman there performs his Price of Right models work there and puts the numbers there like that magically.
It's magic. It's magic.
As they say, through the magic of television.
Yes, sir.
And through the magic of television, gratefully, we're going to take a break right now, but we'll be back on the other side with the very historic event that happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the Council Oak Ceremonial Ground there in Tulsa there. Mvskoke Creek territory, we should say officially. There.
Yeah, we got to. We got to put that in there. It's their part.
You're watching the Native News Today.
The Native American Times, along with the Native American Employment and Training Center, would like to invite you to a career day on May 19th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. held at the Radisson Hotel on 41st and Garnett. Numerous companies interested in hiring the best and brightest that Indian country can produce will be on hand. Let us help you get the great job you want and deserve. If you or a loved one have a disability, please call us at the Mvskoke Creek Nation Vocational Rehabilitation Services, where culturally appropriate counseling and vocational, medical, and psychological evaluations are provided.
My name is Larry Dean Jewell, and thanks to Mvskoke Creek Nation Vocational Rehabilitation Services, my life has changed for the better.
Funding for this program is made available through the U.S. Department of Education Rehabilitation Services, located in Washington, D.C.
And we're back at the Native News Today program. We thank you for joining us this morning. Gerald Wofford with Jason Salzman here. And for our audience out there that's wondering, man, what is that beautiful plant that is behind them right there? This is a replica of one of the council oak plant trees there in Tulsa.
Oh, yeah. Now, this is actually the makeshift set while we're in the middle of construction. Isn't it a beautiful set, though? I can't wait to get in our new studio, but it's going to be hard to leave the plant behind. I tell you that much right now.
Well, I think the official name is the Mvskoke eucalyptus tree.
It is.
There.
It is. It's very rare to these parts, and we're very fortunate to have it.
And it grows all year round.
All year.
Never needs any water or anything.
Yeah,
but,
just some cactus milk in there.
So pretty tough plant. Pretty tough plant.
All right.
But anyway, moving on to other subjects.
All
there.
kidding aside.
Mr. Jason Salzman got to go to Council Oak last week. The 5 tribes met there, a very historic event there. And
it was big time. It was big time. All the chiefs were there, and good turnout. It's marking a very historic day in the lives of our people and our ancestors.
Well, let's take a look at that news that Jason Salzman produced on the Council Oak there and the leaders of the 5 tribes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Sio. It's Jay. Chokma. One good thing about the 5 tribes, there's a couple of them that share the same greeting. Makes it easier on those MCs, I tell you. My name is George Tiger. I'm the speaker for the legislature of the Mvskoke Creek Nation, and I'm honored to serve as the Master of Ceremonies for this very important, commemorative, historical occasion.
Today it's a very important day because we have to relearn and remind ourselves and our neighbors that our 39 tribes, and especially the 5 civilized tribes, continued in full force and effect through this entire last century, and gives us a great opportunity to become partners with our fellow Oklahomans to make this next century better.
It's important that we look back and remind ourselves of the almost 500,000 direct descendants of those people that are represented here today. And I look back and I look out on this crowd and I see those people and those faces that are representative of those ancestors that we left behind.
Continue on serving our people. The huge oak tree is still alive and well, representing the first council fire, and the Mvskoke Nation is still alive and well in the city of Tulsa and the state of Oklahoma. 1906 was a memorable, historic day in the life of the 5 civilized tribes government. There were some things about it, obviously, we didn't like, but the fact it did happen, and it was a memorable day. It was an attempt to terminate our sovereignty. Today, April 26, 2006, was also a historic day in the life of the 5 civilized tribes. We survived. We not only survived, but we are thriving. It's incumbent upon us to act in great integrity and maintain a good life, and to be strong, and to carry out the culture and the traditions of our people, while at the same time making sure that our children and grandchildren are educated so they can compete in the world, so they too can make a contribution not only to Native people, but to people throughout the world, which we are doing. Look at what the tribes have done. In this state, there should not be one Indian who ever put your head down. We are a proud people. We always have been. And when you look at those statistics that government cares so much about, then you have to understand that we make a positive difference in our state. That we are not a liability, but in fact, we are a strong contributor to the state of Oklahoma. We are an asset to the state of Oklahoma.
Our survival was severely challenged. We were able to survive that period of time. And also during that period of time, it established the framework, the foundation for the relationship between the tribes and Oklahoma. The tribes would continue in full force and effect, and then 2 months later, Oklahoma was entitled to become a state, but only subject to the pre-existing reserved tribal rights. So there's a great myth out there that, we need to level the playing field. Well, that's the greatest statement of ignorance that you can have in Oklahoma history, because the playing field was struck 100 years ago.
We need to continue to educate the people around the country and around the world about what our tribal governments do and what we're all about. We're here to promote the common good for all of our people, and the strength of any of our nations is in our sovereignty, and we're all organized to prepare and take care of our citizens. Without our citizens and without their needs, there's really no need for us. So it's important for that we remember that.
Jason Salzman reporting from Council Oak, and Jason, you could just kind of feel the history, everything that was going on that day.
Yeah, it was really special. A lot of people there, like I said, a great turnout. And to see the tribal leaders come together like that, you couldn't help but be uplifted by that, and realize that as 5 separate entities, we can't really be that strong, but as one force, we can move a lot of mountains. And a lot of things happen in the state of Oklahoma that we have our hand on, and the future is very bright.
And just looking at it, that seems to be the modern day theory. I mean, the tribes coming together to group, unite as one, and have more of a voice in government.
Well, I think that's the only way we can truly be a strong force. We can be a force, as, like I said, as 5 separate things. But to be all together, I think that's really a way to strike a mighty blow, and we're letting our voice be heard.
And of course, it all happening at the historic Council Oak grounds there on 17th and Cheyenne in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
All right, let's get to a break, and we'll be right back with more Native News Today.
Come and visit the OSAGE Tribal Tourism and Visitor Center in Pawhuska. The museum has an extensive collection of works from Osage artists. Special events happening in May and June include Stories of the Cedar Chest, an all-Osage art show and market, tours of the Osage Tribal Campus, and a celebration titled Self-Determination and Unification of the Osage Nation.
It's time to play. It's the Wheel of Fortune Casino promotion, and it's only at Tulsa's $1 Million Realm Casino in May. Play your favorite games and become eligible to spin the $1 Million Realm prize wheel for cash prizes and a chance to become a contestant on TV's Wheel of Fortune. It's the Wheel of Fortune Casino promotion, and it's only at Tulsa's $1 Million Realm Casino. Every spinner is a winner at $1 Million Realm Casino, 36th Street North in the LL Tisdale in Tulsa. An Osage Nation Gaming Enterprise.
All right, welcome back to the program, and I know I sound old hat here like a broken record, but Celina Jane, she's out there doing it again in the field, our correspondent, Miss Celina Jane. She's out there in Indian country getting the stories and bringing them back to us. And me and Gerald are certainly talented, and Mr. Slane here, the producer, is certainly talented, but we can't be everywhere all at once, and it's nice to have a little help. And Miss Jane caught up with a big-time actor there.
Yes, officially Celina Jane Dornan, serving as a special correspondent to our program. Got to sit down and have a candid interview with Larry Sellers, Native American actor. Many of y'all will probably remember him from the 90s TV show Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. I want to make sure I say that right,
Exactly
Dr. Quinn
right.
Medicine Woman. And he was in some other films as well. Wayne's World, I believe.
I got to say, he was the Weird Naked Indian, one of my favorite characters of all time, the Weird Naked Indian.
And he does give reference to that in this interview, as you'll see.
You got to.
Well, yeah, I mean, props off. I mean, and literally, I guess you could say almost for him there. But it was a very candid interview with Mr. Sellers. He's been doing a lot of things since he's been back here in Oklahoma, and a very strong traditional man in his Native American beliefs, as you'll see in this interview. Celina Jane Dornan with Native American actor Larry Sellers.
Lights, camera, action. Yes, right here in Oklahoma. We're here in Pawhuska, Oklahoma, visiting an dear friend of mine. Well, maybe I shouldn't say old, but a dear friend of mine, Larry Sellers. All of you may remember him from the Medicine Woman show, Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman, back in, I think it was the 90s. 1900s? No, 90s. Let's introduce you to Larry Sellers.
Hi, how the heck are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you again.
Well, it's good to see you. Welcome. Even though you got lost and went to Elgin. What kind of Indians? You're just driving down the road,
Hey, we were running on Indian time. Well, you're looking good.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm not as old as you imply.
No.
In fact, I think you were talking about my father when you were... You know.
Well, if that's the case, Cynthia, I'm right up there with you, so don't worry. So how have you been?
Actually, pretty good. Been busy. I travel a lot? Try to keep walking. My legs go out. My back is damaged and destroyed. So, you know.
But you're still going strong. I'm hearing a lot of good things about you. You've been pretty busy.
I have been busy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
How long has it been now since you've been back here in Oklahoma?
I think I actually came back the first time in '99. Moved back, and I had to come back because for ceremonial purposes. So I live back here now, and I went through culture shock. You know, not from from white to Indian, you know, or anything. It's just you know, the people around here, they don't move their mouths when they talk. You know. So, you know, I had to have a translator, you know, from English to English, you know, so.
Well, you know, I'm going to ask you a question because this is a question I get a lot because, you know, we were both in L.A. about the same time, and you were a lot more successful than I was with your show. But, you know, you did a lot of things, and people remember you, I guess, especially for Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, but you did a lot of other shows. I guess one of my favorites was Wayne's World.
Yeah, I did Wayne's World. I was the weird naked Indian in Wayne's World.
And a lot of women like that.
Well, you can tell I was Indian in that show.
That's right.
I had high cheekbones, you know.
Okay, you have to go watch the show to understand that, but...
Yeah, and you saw a little more of me than probably cared to, but, you know, so I got a lot of fan mail from that.
Yeah, I bet you did. What's one of your favorite characters that you played, not aside from Clouds dancing?
Well, I really enjoyed working on Wayne's World, too. Both Dana Carvey and Mike Myers were great to work with. They were a lot of fun. I had fun with the director. I had fun with the crew. I had an adopted brother and his wife come out to the set when they were shooting the concert scene, you know, Waynestock, and they weren't working on the show, but and how they dressed, they got fired, I think, about 4 times. They weren't working on the show. This is just the PAs would come up and fire them because they were with me, you know. So, but I had fun on that. I worked on 90210. I had fun on that show. Worked on Walker, Texas Ranger. Had a great time on that show. You know, worked on General Hospital. And it was nice looking at the anorexics. You know, I've done a lot of other things. Just.
Well, you have 25 years in film, TV, and stage, right?
Yeah, actually, I started in '76, and then I got my SAG card in Arizona, and then went to Los Angeles. Started out as a utility stuntman in Arizona.
Okay, so here's the question. What brought you back?
The ceremonies. I have ceremonial responsibility with traditional tribal ceremonies, not what is kind of looked at and accepted here. And, you know, it's a lot of people here are upset about it and dislike it, but that's the way it is, you know. And it's like, say, I don't know what belief you have, and I'm just going to say, I'm going to assume from where area you're from, your Christian denomination. Say an angel came to you and said, you do this, this, and this. And then all your people say, no, you can't do that. You know, what would you do? Would you listen to the angel, or would you listen to all the people that say you can't do that? So I do what I'm directed to do. And that's tough if they don't like it. You know, I operate from premise, it's better to be pissed off than pissed on, and I can do both, and they much rather be pissed off.
So you're following your calling, basically.
I'm following the direction I've been given. Yes, you know, the gift that's been given me is not mine; it belongs to the people, and that's anybody, any human being. Mm-hmm. So.
That's great. Do you miss any of the LA lifestyle?
Absolutely not. I'm happy to get away from there. One of the most disappointing things that I encountered while there was that the indigenous actors, male or female, oftentimes would bring their each personal reservation, tribal politics to the city, And in a population of millions where indigenous people should be supporting each other and be happy that another indigenous person has been hired for a job, they would be jealous and petty and try to tear that person down and try to destroy, because they were only looking at themselves. And to me, that in how I look at it, and it's in relationship to what I term post-traumatic stress disorder as a result of boarding schools and denominational boarding schools. And it's that European mindset, European process, and that oppression and that colonialization process that has entered into indigenous people's lifestyles now. And we've become everything we hated before. Everything our ancestors, even our parents and grandparents, complained about in relationship to Europeans, or what, if you want to say, Euro-Americans or white people. I don't say white people anymore. I use pigmentally challenged. So it is exactly what a lot of cultivated, assimilated Indian people have become. And that's really unfortunate because they forget who they are.
All right, our thanks again there to Salina. A great interview. Larry Sellers, a candid interview, and you can really tell that guy's he's been in Hollywood and he's the actor. You can tell that for sure.
Definitely done a lot of things in his life. Very talented man, and he's even creating a play involving different Native American actors, some from past experiences and everything, and he's putting that together now. So probably soon we'll be giving you information about he'll be doing some type of tour with that play. Very talented man.
I want to check that out. All right, if you're sitting at home there, go ahead and grab your Kleenex boxes. It's time for us to leave you again until next Saturday.
Or if you have Puffs Plus, that's
Puffs
fine
Plus
too. We don't want to
work.
Advertise just one company unless they sponsor a show.
Exactly right.
Then we'll be called the Kleenex Native News Today program.
Yeah, that's true. For the sponsorship there, you got to put them in. All right, but if you do have any news and you want to get it to us or get us any news story ideas or ideas about people that need to be on this show, give us a call at 918-732-7637, or you can reach us by fax at 918-758-0824, or you can reach us at our email addresses. Mine is jsalzman@muscogenation-nsn.gov or gwofford@muscogenation-nsn.gov. And that's going to wrap us up for this program. We'll hope you join us next Saturday, as we will be on same bat time, same bat channel, as I always say. And Gerald, take us to the close.
Let us know what's happening out there in Indian country. Contact us. Take care. God bless.